In July, the nation's largest air show, EAA, had to be canceled because of COVID-19. The Oshkosh-based event draws hundreds of thousands of aviation enthusiasts from all over the world. In fact, Whitman Field becomes the busiest airport in America during the week-long fly-in. Well, 2020 was a big year locally for WFRV when it comes to specials.
Over the year, we put together 24 different special programs, from political debates, town halls, and a look at the civil unrest in Northeast Wisconsin.
To saluting veterans, a local connection to the biggest Netflix series in the planet Tiger King, and a look at the 50th anniversary of the Appleton Parade without a parade.
We had to keep our spirits up after all. Here now are your top 5 WFRV specials for 2020.
Local 5 is proud to present the 50th anniversary of the annual Downtown Appleton Christmas Parade.
And Mrs. Claus and I sit down each evening and go over every letter over milk and cookies.
Hello, and thank you for joining us for the 50th anniversary of the Appleton Christmas Parade. I'm Tom Zalaski.
And I'm Michelle McCormack. Even though the in-person Appleton Christmas Parade is canceled this year, we now bring the parade to you.
50 years later, we'll show you how organizers adapted their Christmas festivities to make sure the pandemic did not disconnect us all from the spirit of the season and this time-honored event.
I just think it's awesome they're doing it, really making it safe by allowing people to, stay in their neighborhood or even in their yard and be able to see Santa, really get that enjoyment out of the kids. Because, it's things like going to the mall Santa that we're not going to be able to do this year.
Merry Christmas!
This was my dream job that turned into a nightmare. What people don't realize is how many of those animals that they came and saw just disappeared.
They got animals from him. They had at least 2 lions from him.
In our community, this is going on right under our noses.
A local zoo. Investigations into alleged animal abuse. A fire at an off-site barn. And a direct connection to one of the biggest international docuseries on Netflix. All happening right here in our own backyard.
For the entire Wisconsin congressional delegation's help to get this bill into law.
We're going out in force, out into the streets to knock on doors and talk.
Tonight, the 8th Congressional District Debate.
The first question, is Wisconsin and the rest of the nation doing enough to combat COVID-19? Representative Gallagher may answer first.
Well, in the Marine Corps, we have a saying, ride to the sound of the guns. And it means that no matter what the crisis, you confront the danger with courage in order to protect the people you love.
The answer is very clearly no, we are not doing enough. We are a hot spot right now. We have, I think the number's up to 24 people alone in Appleton that have died. Students have had their teachers die right here in Northeast Wisconsin. We are not doing enough.
You come from a very large family.
Very, very large family.
The question I get the most about Erin Davison, is she as nice in person as she is on TV? And I can say yes.
As you know, our co-worker Erin Davison has been away from work for some time.
In good news tonight, you don't have to travel to New Orleans to experience Mardi Gras. This is such a wonderful job.
Erin Davison, the local broadcast legend. Welcome back. Tonight is a bittersweet, special night. After 37 years in this business, Erin Davison is retiring.
Hello, Erin. It's Erin. I wanted to send you a message of congratulations on your retirement. After 37 years in the business, 32 with WFRV. That's quite an accomplishment. I would ask you, in reading your bio, if 30 years ago you thought you'd be in this position prior to a 13-hour liver transplant surgery. You have an amazing life story, and you've touched so many lives, especially here in the Green Bay area, with your professionalism, your kindness, your integrity, and your dedication to journalism, not to mention the mentorship and the advocacy for organ donation all over this region. Thank you again for your service, your kindness, and your love for this community.
Oh my gosh, Aaron Rodgers, thank you so much.
She lost her breath when Aaron started to speak.
Oh my gosh, my grandmother was a fervent Packer fan. She's watching from heaven now, and she's lost her breath watching that. Thank you so much, Aaron Rodgers. I appreciate that so much. Good evening, I'm Erin Davison. Conversations about race, while difficult, are very important. And since the death of George Floyd in Minneapolis on May 25th, there is now a direct spotlight on us all to bring those conversations from beyond the shadows and out into the open. Protests starting in Minneapolis.
Being black in America should not be a death sentence. When you hear someone calling for help, you are supposed to help.
What we saw was a man's life taken from him, and the inhumanity and cowardice of those officers.
This is not a black people issue. This is a human issue. And if you are a human being, you should be outraged.
Including here in Northeast Wisconsin. From the initial pain of George Floyd's death and protests that at times were violent, locally, people speaking out, asking for answers, pushing for conversations.
The only way to win is through peace. You match peace with peace, and that's how we gain victory. And if we don't want violence.
This is all meant for peace. It's all just to get our word out, a message. The people that rallied, it's just showing a bad name, and that's not what we're here for. We're completely here for peace, love, and unity.
And from 20 wonderful years with Aaron Davison, I jumped to my new TV wife, Michelle McCormick. I am charmed, am I not?
Thank you very much, Tom.
Boy, I done good.
I have very pretty and capable shoes to fill. The best I can do is just to give it my all. But Erin really has been so wonderful helping me transition here to WFRV. I thank her and everyone here who has been so supportive. It's not easy to follow a legend, but it sure is nice to work next to one.
We're glad you're here. We're having fun. Resolutions, people like to make them before the calendar changes, but this year feels just a little different.
We asked a few people in our community about what they hope will happen in 2021, and as expected, the topic centered around waving goodbye to 2020 and hoping for something close to normal in the new year.
Hopes for 2021, I guess, would be everyone stays happy, stay healthy, and enjoy time with family and friends.
We are mostly looking in the rearview mirror at COVID-19 and the pandemic, and that our ministry has been largely involved in relief and more long-term sustainable help.
That's my wish, is that we all stay healthy, we all stay safe, and just happy that 2020 may be behind us.
Certainly look forward to 2021 getting back to normal and just being able to interact people and see their faces for the full facial for the first time.
Yeah, that sure would be nice, right? To have that face-to-face contact and maybe get a little closer to you, Tom.
Someday it'll happen.
Well, the story of how Menasha started its New Year's Eve celebration sure is interesting, huh?
Yeah, and I learned this when I first met James Taylor 7 years ago when we started doing the live broadcasts in Menasha. James is an alderperson down in Menasha, and the way he tells it, it was like 25, 26 years ago, maybe 28 years ago. He and his brother and their wives were watching the New York ball drop, New York City, Times Square, and James looks over at his brother and says, you know what, we could do that. And sure enough, they got things together and they put together that ball, and they invited all of Menasha downtown to Reed Square, and we broadcast that event. The first 2 years with WFRV was right downtown, right from Reed Square. The ball dropped, they had a big stage, bands. The funny thing is that people are smart down there. It was so cold that first year that the people would go into the bars and the restaurants until 5 minutes before midnight. And at 5 minutes till midnight, they would run out into Reed Square, watch the ball drop, and as soon as that ball hit, wham, we were right back into the bars and into the restaurants. And the ball, by the way, is stored every year. You know, you would think it's some very fancy ball. It's got to be in a special place. No, it's in James's brother's garage.
How about that? Well, we are just moments away from the countdown, and it looks like the ball in Menasha is slowly coming down to mark the new year here. And it sure is nice that we can share in this experience, even though we can't be all next to each other. We can actually, come on, join me in the countdown, won't you?
9,
8,
7,
7,
6,
5,
4,
3,
3,
2.
2, and Menasha.
Happy New Year!
And the great fireworks show that they always put on in Menasha. Usually there are about 400 or 500 people in Reed Square as this is going on, but you know, this is better. You get to sit in the comfort of your living room with your PJs and watch the fireworks show from there.
Yeah, just a beautiful display in the Titletown district there, where folks were enjoying skating and tubing down Aaron's Hill. Yes, they had their masks on, but there is kind of a collective embrace I think we can start to feel, that maybe this is the beginning of the end and we're on to something great in 2021.
It is. We have been hoping for this day for ever since really March.
Yep.
When we
St.
first
Patrick's Day.
started
Yep.
the COVID. And here we are, New Year's Eve, actually New Year's Day. Happy New Year, Michelle.
Happy New Year to you, Tom.
Thank you very much.
Happy New Year to everyone watching. Let's take it all in, shall we?
Oh, James Taylor and company, everyone down in Menasha, you've outdone yourselves once again.
Titletown District as well, putting on a great fireworks display, and so wonderful that the folks of Menasha decided to do a ball drop even though it was virtually, and we are so proud to have been able to bring it all to you. Happy New Year, and I guess we're going to have to do virtual kisses.
Happy New Year, everyone.